John, let's get into some football. Nick Sirianni spoke. Johnny Mac. Jalen Hurts spoke. He's in harmony with the head coach. He had an efficient bye week. John, what do all this mean from the press conferences? Anything to take of it? I will say the QB seemed a little upbeat, but I'm a little
I
dumb
think
with
the
words.
QB, we were talking about that with the quarterback. I think he might have got taken into the principal's office.
Yeah, I think so too, because he
Um,
brought up Nick a lot.
yeah, the one thing about Jalen Hurts that we all of us who've been around him from day one, basically, we know him better than most, but we don't know him because he's very intentional. He's very purposeful to keep us at an arm's length. That's the one word you'll always hear. Everybody agrees with. Everything he does is very intentional. Um, and yeah, all of a sudden he starts bringing up and sharing moments with the head coach. It struck to me, we're walking back to the media house at the NovaCare complex, a couple of reporters, and we're all saying, well, what is, what does that mean? And, but my theory was, Jeffrey said, you know what, this is ridiculous. You're
Yeah.
grown men. Um, you should be able to say something, even if it's flippant, that keeps the rat poison that you so want to keep away. It's common sense. Like, it's easy.
Right.
Just couple pats on the back and move on to the next question. And he hasn't done that pretty consistently. And all of a sudden, he's talking about moments and harmony and all that kind of stuff. I think he got taken to the principal's office. I do. I think Jeffrey put his foot down. And by the way, long overdue if that's what happened.
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible. The very first question, he came out and he ISO'd the name Nick. Not just coaches. He said I had great moments with Nick. So I thought that was interesting, and
Yeah, and and he wasn't asked that specific
I know,
question
right,
at that
right.
point. Yeah, so it basically was asked, "What did you do on the bye week?" That's pretty much it, and the really great moments with Nick, which we all perked up, and we're not expecting that.
John, what is an efficient bye week?
Not get in trouble on your vacation.
I guess that's.
Now for the
I
coaching,
don't expect Jalen Hurts to get in trouble though. He's not.
no. I'm not. No, I'm not bringing that up about him. But I mean, for
Yeah,
the
for the team.
coaches, it's a little bit different. They're actually working a little bit more. I mean, for the players, they had the week off, so I mean, efficient maybe in their personal life about keeping sharp and doing things like that.
I thought that was interesting. I mean, he made a point to say that one too. I had an efficient bye week. One of my most efficient bye weeks since I've been a pro or in my career. He said.
Yeah, and maybe you do learn as a veteran player. And I think if you look at it from the offseason perspective, he's changed a lot of things from where he was because you get more efficient at it. So I think he was just talking about that. But the way the Eagles did it, I mean, and most teams, I'm not picking on them because a lot of people, they should be out there practicing. I mean, they could have practiced on Tuesday after the Tampa game. If you want to punish the players, which a lot of people do. I mean, you're not practicing the day after a game.
Yeah, I will say, coming off the 2-2, I maybe would have liked him to get out there a little earlier than this Wednesday. I mean, you're talking about Wednesday before a Sunday game. They've been off for a week and a half. I mean, they might have some rust coming into this game after the
Well,
week.
they do. They do walkthroughs and all that type of stuff, which isn't open to the media.
Right.
So it's not like they're not out there. But they were back Monday, and I'm sure they were doing some stuff, even though it's not open to prying eyes. But the assumption that, you keep them to bye week, that's collectively bargained. I mean, that's the whole point of it. And you got to give them off 4 consecutive days. And again, so if you think about it, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, both 2 of the days have to be Saturday, Sunday. So everybody does Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you have Monday, the day after a game, where everybody generally in the modern players are off. Tuesday they'll come in, they'll do some stuff, and then Wednesday everybody's off. So if you want to be a hard ass, old school hard ass, I guess you could make them practice, but nobody does it. So I can't say nobody because a few teams do it. But again, is it going to make that big of a difference? I don't think so. But
John, let's get into the practice and the injury updates. Obviously got some updates yesterday on Lane Johnson, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith. What'd you learn from that? And then you can get into the practice as well. I know you guys got a chance to see at least some of the practice yesterday.
Yeah, I think I took for it that I don't even think the teams and the players know how to get out of concussion protocol. That's what I took from it.
Devontae Smith was a full participant, but he's not out of the protocol. I'm like, what is that? What does that
well,
mean?
that's you can do that. Part of getting out of the protocol, which Lane learned, is you have to go through contact after you're cleared, some kind of contact practice, whatever they describe that as, which again is nebulous. Because nobody's out there tackling. So
no, there's a poor coach though, John, that's out there getting shredded now because the donuts evidently weren't working.
Yeah, the donuts don't work.
I was cracking up at the video of the dude who's sitting there getting tackled over and over again by every defensive player on the team. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's funny because they're playing the Browns this week, and a lot of Jim Schwartz talk, and Jim still made a lasting imprint on that building. Everybody loves him, but Cleveland has missed 50 tackles in 5 games, which is way worse than the Eagles. Not way worse. The Eagles are just over 8 per game, and the Eagles are like, if you use the metrics, the advancement, they're 22nd in the league when it comes to tackling. So as bad as everybody thinks they are, there's like 10 teams worse than them. And Cleveland's one of them. So yeah, there's a lot of bad tackling going on in the NFL. So the donut's not working in Philadelphia, but rest assured it's not working anywhere else either, pretty much.
Yeah, no doubt. We're going to get to our commercial break here in just a second. I see our man, John Stolness. I'm sure he'll have an opinion on the Phillies as well before we get into the Eagles. I'm looking forward to hearing that. Appreciate everybody, by the way, in the chat. Hit that like button, everybody. Got a good crowd already in here this morning. Just broke down some of the press conference talk today. Had a little bit of a brief opening here. Some technical difficulties, John, on this Thursday. Throwing a wrench at us. By the way, for everybody in Florida, hopefully you guys are all safe. It looked like it died down a little bit. I think 3 million people are without power in the state right now. So hopefully everybody stays safe. And obviously I know we have a couple people in here. DRC is a Florida guy. I know Real Zeal is a Florida guy. Daz is a Florida guy. So we got some Florida guys in the chat this morning. Hopefully you guys are all safe. Appreciate you guys being here this morning. John, let's get to our first commercial break. John Stolness coming up next here on Birds 365.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.